Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for our webinar introducing the 2024 Golden Goggles winners. Before we get started, I wanted to introduce ourselves, Science Interactive. Science Interactive has spent over 30 years ensuring that students have the opportunity to experience hands-on science laboratories, no matter where they are. From our start delivering students hands-on lab experiences in online courses, we have expanded over the years to support hybrid learning through both hands-on and virtual laboratories. In addition to that, we've more recently moved into working on campus, supporting on-campus laboratory courses with virtual pre-labs that prepare students before they even enter the lab. We are very excited this year for the second time to honor our Golden Goggles recipients. The Golden Goggles Awards were founded really as an annual opportunity to recognize the leading educators who are supporting students taking laboratory courses online and really recognize their contributions to the field of online science laboratory education. This year, we have 5 award recipients that we're honoring, and each of them are going to be sharing their experiences throughout the course of this hour. Of course, we welcome you to ask any questions you may have in the Q&A session, and we will be answering those at the end of our hour. So to kick things off today, I am excited to recognize our winner for expanding access and equity in science laboratory education, Dr. Amanda Rosenzweig. Dr. Amanda Rosenzweig is from Delgado Community College with a PhD in curriculum and instruction. She has been shaping minds in biology since 2003. As the college-wide biology department chair, she's not just teaching, she's revolutionizing how science is taught and experienced. Her colleagues describe her as an incredible mentor and leader, always putting students first. One noted, Dr. R is at her best and happiest when students get science. That is her greatest reward. Another colleague added, every step that Dr. Rosenzweig has taken in her career has been to improve her ability as an educator and increase student understanding, engagement, and confidence. Her innovative approach to inclusive education is truly changing lives one student at a time. Amanda, I am happy to turn things over to you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. As Kate said, my name is Amanda Rosenzweig, and I have many roles at my community college of Delgado, which is in New Orleans, Louisiana. But the role I am most proud of is being a teacher. And I'm just going to start off before jumping into some of the demographics and information you see on the screen is I want to give a brief description of the school and why equity, access, diversity, inclusion is so important. So we're a historically Black institution. Most of our students have family, work part-time, are full-time, and many are first-generation college students. So in general, our students are struggling with a lot of executive skills, time management, reading, writing, communication, collaboration. And without these skills, they often struggle to keep up with assignments, and it can be difficult to balance work and life while staying on track to complete course material, specifically when it's online, which is often out of sight. In addition to some of these struggles, our students often don't have the best technology access and support. So we don't have adequate access to secure internet. Technology isn't updated, running on old systems, and it's not reliable. So they often convert to using their cell phones, which is just a barrier in general for a lot of work. And then an overall, I would say, factor is that something I look at and is close to my heart is accessibility and disability. So 1 in 6 individuals have a disability. So that's about 16% of the individuals in the world. And in a collegial setting, about 21% of students, which is about 1 in 5, have a disability, but often only 9 to 10% a year will disclose their needs. And there's a variety of reasons. Often it is perception and how they feel they will be treated. So this creates an unintentional barrier before classes even begin because faculty are designing for the unknown. So the goal at my school is to design courses that anticipate the diversity of students that may enroll in it. And to do this, we often look at universal design principles, and we take that into consideration to enhance the usability. Basically, how can we approach the unknown in the most likely magnitude of reaching everybody? So the course that I particularly teach is general biology, but we also offer this course in a variety of disciplines. Each of our classes online have approximately 20 students, some a few less, some a few more. And we have been using Science Interactive in multiple variety of modalities. We've done it fully online. We do it face-to-face hybrid, and we do it virtual hybrid. And with these classes, it's going to be a mix of major science major students and non-major students that need it for credit for their particular degree plan. So when we approach this, and one of our goals was to improve access and experience for our students. So one of the big themes that I look at is accessibility in online classes and labs. And what that really means is that people with disabilities can access the same information and services as people without disabilities. So by creating accessible online learning, we actually create a seamless experience for all learners. And do we reach this all the time? No, but that's what our goal is. We strive to support that statement, a seamless experience for all learners. So when we are attempting to improve this access for our learners, we look at different buckets or categories. So first is the student need. Now, we have to really meet our students where they are at, not where we want them to be or think they should be. So regardless if online is the best modality for them, that is where our students are attending. So we need to provide them with a positive, effective learning experience that supports engaging and hands-on practices. And we're always working to improve our experiences with this. So one of our first goals with online course delivery is to have clear, intuitive, and simple navigation. Does sound easy or sounds pretty simple, but often there are barriers that as users, we just assume it is simple, clear, and easy to understand. Also, it's really important for us to provide our students with an authentic learning experience, because a lot of our students, since a lot of our courses are for science majors, are going into some type of medical field. So we want them to have that hands-on experience that they can translate into clinicals or other experiences they may be faced with. So part of the way that we do this is we use templates in all sections. So for the School of STEM, which I am a part of, we use templates in our LMS, our learning management system. Ours is particularly Canvas, but it can be done in most LMSs. And this is to have consistency. So students know they're logging into a School of STEM course. It's for branding, and it's also for ADA compliance. This is really important because the Title II ADA compliance laws have changed. And by March 26, 2026, all public-facing and even material that is password protected, especially in course management systems, have to be ADA compliant. Now, it's March 26 for my institution based on size. Based on the institution's size, it could be March 2027. And in these templates, we have a universal design approach to create simple, consistent navigation for the student experience. We use color with care, readable text, accessible document formats, alt text, captions, and more. So this is one of my background specialties is digital accessibility. So this allows us to ensure our students are starting off with everything that will work in the technological world. Now, all of this is pre-built, and then we have our core content that we are sharing to all sections. So whether it's our Gen Bio, our chemistry, our physical science classes, we are going to create these templates, and some of the material that we're sharing will be in the LMS before it is deployed to the sections, and some of it will be within Science Interactive within their platform. What we want to focus on is pre-lab effectiveness and preparedness for moving into Science Interactive's 3 E's on the SI platform. So we want to make sure the students are prepared with what they need to provide, what is provided for them, time commitment, and time management suggestions for them to be successful once they move into the platform to do the experiments. So this is all something that is ongoing and evolving. We are still working on streamlining it to ensure that we're meeting both student and faculty feedback. And we want to make sure that we're supporting our students through the process of them. As they move through these modules that are pre-created both in the LMS and Science Interactive, we provide our students with a lot of alternative forms of learning material so that they can use what is best for their success. So this could be vocabulary lists, videos, interactive videos, worksheets, quizzes, labeling activities. And we provide this in a lot of alternative formats so they can choose what best supports their success. And as I'm saying this, it sounds like it's really controlled and everyone has to do the exact same thing. Once this is deployed, the instructors can add and personalize their classes to ensure it still speaks to their personality. We just want to make sure that we start off, 1, accessible, and 2, making sure our core content and SLOs are being addressed. And then the last piece, real quickly, I'm so sorry, is support. And our instructor support is really important because this is new from them. So this is supporting them both from in-house on my side and the SI side with our team there, which has been phenomenal. We provide videos for both instructors and students to walk them through the experiments. We have checklists for students and instructors to help prepare them for each lab. And then we offer modular time management schedules for best practices. So this is just kind of a timeline of our growth. Of course, we want to move forward with implementation in all online labs immediately, but that's not realistic for success, neither for the students nor ourselves. So we have chosen to scale our courses to support both the learner and faculty success. So this includes providing adequate training, evolving the course based on feedback. We're in a really big revamp and evolving the course, and being respectful to bandwidth of everyone involved, both the SI team and the Delgado team, because we all are human and we have other responsibilities. We want to make sure that what we put out is going to represent our ideals and our needs for our students. We have grown from 4 courses in spring 2024, which is our pilot, and we're continuing to pilot. And by fall 2025, we will have grown to 9 different courses and 50+ sections. So 4 courses, 6 sections to 9 courses and 50+ sections. So we are scaling at a pretty great rate, which is exciting. Now, something that is really important is, especially when meeting students where they are, is why they take online classes. And we've heard the variety of reasons: flexibility, accessibility, career advancement, course variety. They can take classes while they work. They can able to, what fits their lifestyle. But I specifically asked students pointed questions, and I got some very great reasons to why the SI online hands-on engagement met their needs. So one student stated because of medical issues, they are unable to commute to the college from their hometown, which is about an hour from New Orleans, for class. This made it possible to complete my lab. I'm currently deployed, was unable to take labs in person. So this is great. We're serving the veterans or the active military. I chose to do it online because it's convenient and flexible. It's easier for me to balance my work and family commitments, and I like self-paced learning. I took it only because it was convenient for me. Having a son that is 2 on the spectrum, it's not all the time easy to work and go to school with children. And I work full-time and I don't have a car, so it's easier for me to manage. So while convenience and flexibility is the theme throughout. They all have personal reasons that we're able to support and meet and allow them to continue their education. So I have a lot of feedback on here. I just chose some random ones that I thought were fun. The feedback's really important to me as kind of the chair of all of this piloting, because it helps both the teachers and the individuals rolling it out understand what's working and how we can improve. And we're heavily changing our courses to meet their requests and needs and feedback. And student feedback helps inform how our curriculum is designed. Unfortunately, the students, when they give us this feedback, it doesn't affect them per se, but it does affect future students and courses in their design. So as you can see, there's a lot of great feedback provided. We use a virtual scope in most of our labs. The students love it. It accounts for students making mistakes, and that's really important because we actually did all of the labs ourselves, recorded them, captioned them, edited them. And my partner and I that were going through this made a lot of mistakes because we were a typical student that didn't read before we started. And we had to redo one lab 4 times, and we had plenty of consumables to do that. So I think it's really great that the students' feedback is actually aligning with the faculty feedback, and it allows us to build and move forward in a positive manner to both support everyone involved in this journey. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. Our next winner won their Golden Goggles Award for fostering student-centered learning. And that is Ricky Burnett Arndt from Utah State University, Brigham City. As a laboratory education specialist in biology, Ricky is dedicated to creating an exciting and organized learning environment to support student success. Her innovative approach to instruction empowers students to explore scientific concepts in ways that resonate with their life and career goals. Cultivating curiosity and engagement ensures that each student can achieve their full potential, both academically and personally. A colleague highlighted her impact, saying her work ethic, organization, and dedication to students are a tremendous model for our staff. Ricky's commitment to student-centered education is not just changing her classroom, it's shaping the future of science education at her institution. Ricky, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Like it was mentioned, my name is Ricky Burnett Arndt, and I am from Utah State University. We are a regional campus, and I work at the Brigham City campus. We target a lot of non-traditional students, and we have a lot of majors and non-majors. A lot of our students are the pre-nursing, pre-dental, pre-PA. And I focus on teaching the microbiology, human physiology, and human anatomy labs. Some of the tactics that I use in keeping my education for my students student-centered is to make things flexible and fair, and making those policies aware to students right from the beginning of the semester. Also fostering a team of strong instructors and having a good relationship between all of those instructors. That can also set a good environment, not only for students to learn, but also for the instructors for teaching. And that is one of the things that I have really found being very helpful throughout keeping this for students. How I structure just the basic courses is keeping consistency and having all of the different courses align in Canvas. So when students have a new course, but they're with someone from our university in our Brigham City, is having no learning curve for the where things are on Canvas and where they can go and find these materials. Having that comfort going into it helps students feel prepared. And many students have mentioned that this helps them want to take another course with us because they don't have to do the guessing game and they know what to expect. Also, maintaining regular contact keeps students feeling cared for, basically. And if you are in regular contact, then they feel that if there's a concern, they can come to you and say, you know, I don't understand this concept. And that helps build that focus for the students as well. if you have students that are non-traditional, one of the funnest things that I love to do is include their families and have activities that they can do to teach their families, but also kind of just get students excited about learning and get their families excited. I love science, and I love being able to have others fall in love with science. Sorry, thank you. So sharing the learning outcomes, this is one thing that I find so very critical, is having them available from the beginning. When students have their learning outcomes provided at the very beginning of the activity, of the lab, of the lecture, whatever it might be, there's no guessing game. And that helps build their confidence going into it. So they know what they're supposed to actually get out of it. And also following those outcomes when you're building an assessment, that builds that trust with the students of you're not going to put something on an assessment that they never felt that they found important. That is one of the biggest things that has helped students feel prepared as well, and also has helped me in my alignment of my courses. Expanding access and equity, there's many ways to do this. One thing that I've learned is a lot of students coming, maybe they're coming right out of high school, or maybe they're coming back after a long break from their education, is if they don't have a good understanding of how to study, that will impact them and they will feel very unprepared. Having a discussion with how to study in general can make their whole college experience or break it. And if you have that conversation, then they really appreciate it, and that will benefit them throughout their whole lives. Also, other resources. If you have academic resources throughout your university, mental health resources, just setting them up for success will set them up throughout their whole experience as well, but also with your class. Having unique situations do occur, and expanding your access and keeping that student-centered learning, where I had a student that all of a sudden had to pick up and move across the country with her spouse, had no control over the situation. And instead of having her education suffer from that, we were able to find creative ways to allow her to continue her education and deal with that, even though she wasn't able to physically be in at our campus anymore. And so being able to, keep the course policies there, but also be flexible and work with our students. A lot of the students that we work with, they are working 12-hour shifts and having office hours at a convenient time for everyone involved, instead of just at a 1 hour time period in one location. That is one of my favorite things. I love technology because of this, because we can use Zoom and we can work with students at many different times, 7 days a week, whenever works, and just helping along the way. This is one of my favorite things. How do I run my classes? And just finding fun ways, and those memory aids, mnemonics, it's exciting, it's fun, it makes students happy, but they stick and students love it. And giving those associations, finding the little ways that are the associations in real life and putting them in applicable for your course, that means the world to students, because they can think, oh yeah, I actually see now how that applies. It's not just this abstract concept anymore, it's actually real. And that's when the light bulb moments happen. And I love that. That's why I teach. That's why I do this. Responding quickly. I have so many comments all of the time of, I love that you responded quickly. Thank you so much for your quick response. And if something happens, then be proactive and contact the resources involved so that everyone can get the help and set up for success. Here's some student feedback that I've received, and just different students over the years that I've been able to help, finding the recordings helpful, and just all the encouragement. I love my job. I love being able to work with students, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ricky. Okay, our next presenter won their Golden Goggles for promoting student support and mentorship. And that is Talisha Ward Thomas from American National University. With over 20 years of experience as a certified pharmacy technician and a master's in health law, Talisha brings real-world expertise to the classroom. Her teaching philosophy is rooted in providing students with real-world experiences that prepare them for successful careers in healthcare. A colleague praised her unique teaching technique, saying, "Professor Talisha has been instrumental in our pharmacy technician lab courses. She has perfected them to enhance student learning objectives and outcomes and created an environment where students feel comfortable approaching her about academic and personal issues." Talisha's commitment extends beyond the classroom. She's always available to support students. Her dedication to creating an optimal learning experience truly makes her a champion for students. Talisha, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. As stated, my name is Talisha Thomas. I've been with American National University for the last 3-ish years now. We are 100% online, and like others have stated this afternoon, we provide that flexibility that a lot of our students need. We cater to the non-traditional student who work weird hours and have to take care of family members and, have soccer after 6 p.m. So I definitely prefer the flexibility, and that also means that I have to be flexible as well. And we have courses and lecture up until about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I am flexible. I meet students once again where they are, and that includes having to be available for those weird hours for them. Our program offers a unique environment where we are mostly asynchronous, allowing students to submit their work at the end of the week, but we do meet weekly for our lab courses. Using personalized science interactive kits, I provide my students with that hands-on kinetic experience that they need. American National University is the only online institution right now that is approved by our accrediting body, which we are really ecstatic about. That is the American Society of Hospital Systems, Pharmacists, or ASHP. My courses are relatively small. We average about 10 to 15 students, and I like that. When in our lectures, we are able to get to know each other, and we complete our labs together sometimes. I perform the labs in front of the students. I have some students who will then do the lab in front of me so that I can see them do it before they go and they have to do it on their own during the week. So having those small classes, I get that one-on-one time with them, and we really get to know each other and have a great time. So my teaching philosophy is rooted in providing students with real world experiences that prepare them for successful careers in healthcare. I want to focus on the 4 basic principles that I think myself and my entire team go by. We focus on engaging students through technology, being 100% online. We definitely work with Zoom. Science Interactive is seamless with our Canvas, thank goodness. We provide interactive videos. We prepare medications in a visual aspect. We also prepare students for real world application, inspiring students for the next generation and fostering student success through mentorship. So incorporating technology is very important. I think we all are dependent on technology and the use of it. Zoom has been so instrumental in being able to um, foster these relationships, have that face to face that sometimes I think online institutions lack when it comes to that physical environment that a lot of brick and mortar campuses have. I provide students with access to a vast array of resources and tools that can make learning more personalized, engaging, and efficient. from adaptive platforms that tailor content to individual needs to collaboration tools that enable work groups across distances. Technology fosters creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. When we do have that 2 hour window that we meet every week, I am able to ask questions. We are able to interact. Students are able to clarify questions with me that I don't think a lot of online institutions have when they are basically all asynchronous. So, us having asynchronous and synchronous learning, we can incorporate all of those tools. So, along with our program, we also implement an externship. So, after they go through all of their courses and then they are complete with their labs, our accrediting body requires that students go out into the workforce and they get their real hands on learning experience in a physical pharmacy. So, incorporating real world examples and externships into an educational program bridges the gap between classroom learning and practical experience. With Science Interactive, we have created labs that mimic real pharmacy tasks. So once they go out into the workforce and they're getting that hands on experience, they're able to use their education in that work environment. The practical experience in a real pharmacy helps students learn the day to day tasks and getting a real feel of what it's like to work in the field. This approach not only enhances learning, but also prepares students for the workforce by giving them a competitive edge and a deeper understanding of their chosen fields. So, as I've mentioned, we're also building a supportive learning environment. I try not to come to students as a professor. I think sometimes that has that stigma of not being as approachable as we need to be. But I mean, we're all adults, we're all human, we all go through things. And I try to be that understanding instructor, especially when it comes to late work and crazy natural disasters. I lost power about a week ago from the remnants of one of the hurricanes passing through. So I definitely understand the importance of the flexibility of online learning. I also have students come to me with their personal needs, and then we try to figure out the best way to foster them getting their work completed with everything that has to go on. So, mentors also serve as role models, offering advice on career paths and fostering a mindset of continuous learning. A strong mentorship culture creates a nurturing community where students feel supported, valued, and empowered to reach their full potential. I meet with them on one on one. We can discuss career goals. I write recommendation letters. I provide encouragements and insight. As stated in my bio, I've been a pharmacy technician for 20 years. Oh my goodness, I'm telling my age here. But I have a lot of experience in the field, and I hope that they students feel like they can come to me and use me as a valuable resource in that field. So, inspiring the future of science education, cultivating a learning environment that celebrates exploration, collaboration, and curiosity empowers students to become the next generation of scientists, innovators, and informed global citizens ready to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. Through Science Interactive, I ensure that the students gains the hands-on experience, critical thinking skills for their success as pharmacy technicians, all while meeting accreditation standards and fostering a learning environment that bridges the gaps between theory and practice. I am deeply committed to supporting my students, whether it's addressing technology issues, offering detailed explanation of our weekly concepts, or providing one-on-one mentorship through regular check-ins and appointments. I want to close with one of my favorite quotes. It's education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. So my final slide here, at the end of the lab courses, I ask my students how they feel about it. I think that most of the students enjoy it because they kind of get a break from their regular book work and they're able to get that kinetic hands-on experience. And here's just some of the testimonials that I've had from my students, ranging from them not knowing what they needed to know as a pharmacy technician, or them feeling like they now get to understand the day-to-day workflow of a pharmacy technician. My students leave the courses with the basic knowledge they will need to be able to go right into the workforce and provide timely and accurate treatment for our patients. We are helping people live longer and healthier lives. So I want to thank my program director for nominating me. I'm sure he's in the background listening somewhere. And also for Science Interactive for acknowledging the work that us as instructors and professors put in for our students. So the beautiful award, and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, Talisha. Our next winner won the Golden Goggles for implementing innovative blended learning methods, and that is Carlotta Tibby-Marin from San Joaquin Valley College. Born in Venezuela, Carlotta's journey in education has taken her from NASA to Native American communities, always infusing her teaching with diverse perspectives. A colleague noted, every time we connect, her passion shines through. She truly loves to inspire, guide, and engage her students. As a cancer survivor, Carlotta approaches teaching with a unique zest for life, focusing on the positive and embracing diversity. Her innovative blended learning techniques, drawing from her rich experiences, truly set her apart as an educator. Tibby, I'll hand things over to you.
Thank you so much for having me here. So my name is Tibby-Marin. I work through San Joaquin Valley College, which is a small college here in the Central Valley in California. We focus on health sciences and we focus in other trade areas as well. I prepare the students who are going to be joining us in the RN program or the dental hygiene program. I teach intro to chemistry classes, organic chemistry and biochemistry, and microbiology. My classes are in person and I have a hybrid learning environment as well. We get between 20 to 28 students per section. Our classes go for 10 weeks, meets twice a week, lecture and labs. And of course, we use Science Interactive, which the students love. And I really appreciate the work all of you have done to set up the stage for their success. So those are the students who have a prerequisite, and I covered 3 of them. So blended learning. So I want the students to learn. I want to enhance their understanding of science. As microbiology, for example, or chemistry, how we use those fields in our professions, right? So they're complex concepts, and the students sometimes get kind of like paranoid, oh, chemistry. And I tell them, no, chemistry is no hard. It's how we teach chemistry. So I want them to lose the fear for science. Some of them come with a fear for science. I'm going to fail this class, and I want them to lose that fear, right? I give them the opportunity to learn at their own pace. So not everybody learns fast. Everybody learns different, have a different learning style. So I'm modifying my classes so I can reach all of them. And I increase the chances for them to retain information with different activities in the classroom. If you don't get it north and south, I go east and west. So I go in different directions for them to learn. I empower them to look beyond the classroom and with science articles, videos, and own life experiences, because some of them are already working in the field and they're going to improve themselves. So they bring their own experiences also to the classroom. And I incorporate that too. So whatever I teach in the classroom, when they go to the hospital, the nursing home, they're working there, or they go to a clinic, they're seeing the stuff we are teaching in the classroom and how it applies to their daily profession. So that's what I want to bring, that connection. I'm just going to bridge the gap that exists between your workplace and what you're learning. No, let's connect it. Let's bridge that. So learning takes place and is retained 100%. So inside the classroom, I found ways to create demonstrations. When I'm doing chemistry, so for example, I did static electricity as part of the chemistry curriculum. I brought balloons and we brought a lot of stuff for them to see static electricity firsthand. When I did looking into chemical reactions, looking at the periodic table, I brought UV lights and I have some of those, and I brought different minerals, different things that glow in the dark. Why that happens? Why do you have a t-shirt that glows in the dark? Why do you have the stickers you put on the wall? So bring all that into the classroom, right? Engage them to be a kid, and they have so much fun with those mini labs. They try, they get wet, but they love those little activities, right? And the home assignments that I give them is their homework. So I want them to extend it beyond the classroom to learn on their own too. And then we recap the following week about the homework after they turn it in. I grade it, so we recap that. Outside the classroom, I use discussion forums where I probably put a video related to chemistry. Don't miss chemical, for example. That was one of them. Or any diseases like monkeypox that we were discussing in microbiology. So I want them to do that. They have written assignment, they have homework they have to do. They have research projects, mini research projects in between the 10 weeks, and a final research project. In chemistry, everything applies to chemistry, for dental hygiene, for nursing, or in microbiology, we do a research in tropical diseases. We're looking into, for example, Ebola, monkeypox. We're looking into gastroenteritis. We're looking into endemics diseases too. And I do a lot of hands-on activities with them. They move around the room. They have paper. They have index cards. So they're moving around the room doing activities all the time in all my classes. So I do demonstration. I share with them videos. Last night we were doing, for example, nuclear chemistry. So they didn't know we had radioactive materials in your smoke detector, but it's so little. So I brought a small radiation detection instrument. I have one, so I brought it in and I have some samples, and they were able to hear the beeping. So how much radiation is in the room. When I put it close to the smoke detector, it started beeping more. And then I told them, then we watched the film and they said, oh, that's connection there. So I always read scientific articles and I give it to them too. I want them to be science literate. So to learn and to read, just in case they're going to go to the master's degree, their bachelor's, master's, they know how to read scientific articles and react to them. I do mental maps a lot, and I also use artificial intelligence in some of the activities with them. And they love that. They love the simulation. So I use at the beginning of the class the KW model because I want to know what they know about the subject. If you don't know anything, that's okay. You're going to learn from that. What would you like to learn? Oh, I don't know how toothpaste is made, for example. When a student asks me, I say, okay, you're going to learn about that. So it's biochemistry. We use an ebook, and I allows them to look into ways they can incorporate the content from the ebook into the classroom too. I use a lot of YouTube videos. They are phenomenal. I use some from the American Chemical Association. I use journals from everywhere. I use online atlas for microbiology. So when they're doing their culture, they can connect with that and then get more classification of the bacteria, for example, or the fungi that are studying. So they do more outside the observation because they have to look at slides. They have to draw what they see in microbiology. And from there, when they grow the culture, they have the connection already made. And handouts, I give them a lot of handouts to looking into things, and flow charts to engage them even more. And sometimes the flow chart is empty, and I ask them to put the knowledge together in flow chart, how everything works together. So my focus is blended learning, use all different ways to incorporate what they know and what I'm teaching, because the experience is important in the classroom. If the student know how to cook, okay, we're looking into chemistry. We're looking into air pressure. Yeah, you have a pressure cooker, right? Yeah, so what does it mean? And if we are doing organic chemistry, so let's look into hydrocarbon, the gasoline. So they did a research of the different type of gasoline, hydrocarbons, how petroleum is refined. So we're looking into that when they're making bread or when they get the bread from the store. Hey, how did this bread is made? How paper is made? So all the things that they are used to, I bring their knowledge into the classroom. So everyday connection. So cooking, chemistry is cooking right there. Doing laundry, yes, without laundry detergent. And then in microbiology, we're talking about enzymes and some activity. Tide detergent. I told them watch the commercial, and they say it's an enzyme. It has enzyme to break down the dirt. For example, when you shampoo your hair, when you use a toothpaste, it's a chemical reaction right there, right? So when you put makeup, all the different minerals, all the different chemical elements from the periodic table are there. The mica, for example, the talc, and all of these chemical elements are there in the makeup. Giving medication to their patient, right there, chemistry, organic chemistry, and mostly the part of biochemistry. Using the gas when you go to work. So your car works, but you are burning the gas, right? Then I do the cultural connection, the important role of carbohydrates in French, Italian dishes. We know that you go to France, most of the stuff you have is sweet over there, all that carbohydrates with us there. So in the part of biochemistry, we talk about carbohydrate, we talk about different type of fats, oils, for example, waxes, everything. We talk about that. And then we're talking about spices in the Middle East. How important is the spices in the Mediterranean food, and how important the spices in the Hispanic culture? For example, we look at that in the Chinese culture. So we're looking into the world connection in there. So we're looking into Native American cultures and the survival of some of them. And as you go way north to Barron, Alaska, you go way, way north, what you have Siberia, they use a lot of fat to keep them warm. So that's some of the things I try to bring to the classroom. A cultural connection, Tian, you've never been in Siberia, neither do I, but we learn how they adjust their lives and the chemistry and the biochemistry. So those applications come to the classroom. And the feedback I get from the students, they get crazy with the chemistry labs. They see the flame colors and all the stuff. And when we do microbiology, they get so excited with micro too. They're growing stuff. We do. I say, well, how you check the bottom of your shoes, for example? Let's see what we have in there. So I ask them to open their eyes to a different world than they have seen before. Sometimes we teach science with worksheets in middle schools and hardly any hands-on, but I want them to have the experience. And Science Interactive has given us the opportunity to open their eyes and to open my eyes to expand the knowledge in science education. And one of the things is I'm preparing them to go to the real world. I'm preparing them to be nurses, dental hygienists, with whatever I do in the classroom. And it's a lot of chemistry and of medication. And when I also talks in nuclear chemistry, we're looking into cancer too, cancer drugs. We're looking into radiation, for example. Your food gets radiated, so it lasts longer. So all those knowledge is bring back to the classroom. So I try to make it so interactive. Things that the books sometimes don't have, but I'm trying to bring something different and blend things from the outside to the inside. And I know my students really love those classes. They love micro a lot and chemistry. So I really appreciate the work you have done with Science Interactive and for giving us the opportunity to showcase what we do in the classroom and how we connect with the students, because that's one thing I do. Give them my phone number. They can contact me 24/7 if they need to. And what I want to do with them is to have a teacher that cares about them and a teacher who is available for them. They work from 8 to 4 and they come directly to class twice a week. So I try to connect with them very well. And teaching is my passion. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Tibby. Our last winner today is our Community Champion Award, and this was received by Dr. James Brown, currently an instructor at Colorado Christian University and the City University of New York. Designated one of the top 40 innovators in education by the Center for Digital Education, Dr. Brown has been a longstanding champion of online science education, earning him the nickname the Godfather of Online Science. His pioneering work in delivering science courses completely online has opened doors for countless students. With a diverse background, including roles as a college dean at Ocean County College and New Jersey City College, director of microbiology at the Roche Biomedical Laboratories, and assistant commissioner of health for New Jersey, Dr. Brown brings a wealth of experience to his teaching. He serves on the United States Distance Learning Association Advisory Board and is a member of the North American Distance Learning Association. His commitment to nurturing the next generation of scientists and healthcare professionals, whether face-to-face or online, truly makes him a community champion in science education. Jim, take it away.
Okay. Hey, well, thanks a lot. And I just enjoy Science Interactive and what was originally Hands-On Labs. And I was there from the very beginning. And it was the owner who actually gave me the title of, I got my students gave me this, Dr. James Brown, the Godfather of Online Science. So it's been great. I've taught anatomy and physiology, microbiology, public health, and biology, a whole bunch all over, a whole bunch of different places. Currently, Colorado Christian University and also City University of New York School of Professional Studies. However, also the other side of the tracks, a Catholic university, Gwynedd Mercy University. And I joke about, hey, it's been all over the United States. I was at the University of Alaska at Fairbanks, and I joked that any further north, I'd be teaching polar bears microbiology. Anyhow, I love teaching microbiology. The big advantage of it is you're teaching it fully online, but you can use a biosafety level 1 organisms, which are very healthy. If I could have the next slide. Okay, strategies for success in online learning. Focus on building career readiness in students. And the cool thing is, I deliberately have courses where it mimics exactly the real world. So in microbiology, for example, I was the assistant commissioner of health for the state of New Jersey, overseeing the public health and environmental labs. So what was really cool is these labs absolutely mimic what's going on in hospital labs and clinical labs. And it's a biosafety level 1 organisms they're working with, but it very safe, and the students are thrilled about doing this. So the course designs absolutely mimic the real world. And that now, originally getting faculty to buy into this, you know, they had an attitude, oh, online, what's that, da-da-da-da-da. But we've proved to them over and over again that the students taking the online courses actually many times outperform the students who take it face to face. So I'll show you some data on that in a bit. And the other thing is, I like populating the courses with mentors. It's really a cool thing. Let's say if I'm teaching a lot of nursing students, pre-nursing students, well, hey, I'll try to link them up with a real nurse out in the environment there. Or if it's a microbiologist, that's where they're planning on going. I'll try to hook them up with someone working in microbiology in the field. So it's really kind of a cool thing, because when they get to, they stay friends with them all the way throughout. And then inspire students' greatness beyond the classroom. What I do is, let's say I got an outstanding student, I work with them, and I encourage them, let's say, to actually publish an article. It's cool. They write the article. My name's on the back end of it with a PhD. It assures it gets published. So this way, when they get out with their bachelor's degree, they have a handful of publications they've done. So anyhow, next, please. As it's already been mentioned, I've received numerous awards for one of the top 40 innovators in education, but it's really cool. I was like students who I've had who've been on aircraft carriers to doing microbiology and all the rest. And sure enough, the Navy actually gave me a piece of the where the planes land, where they come up on it. They gave me a piece of that with my name on it and all the rest. It's the cool thing is with the Science Interactive, you can really reach students, not only the United States, all over the United States, military, that sort of thing, but beyond in all those other countries. It's really cool. As long as they've got a minimal setup for the internet, they can do it. Next slide. So as I say, using mentors, it's really helps out, because this way they link up with someone in their field they want to go into. And sure enough, many times the mentors actually stay friends after the course and even after they graduate. It's amazing how they get that. And the mentors, actually, so many of them love doing it to the students because they realize that next generation, they're helping things get better. So many of we have a real problem with enough nurses not only in New Jersey, but in the United States. So sure enough, by getting nurses to be mentors to the students, it's just a wonderful thing. Next slide. Okay, and then now the other thing that happened, COVID. It was a pandemic that really in March of 2020, they realized in colleges and universities how dangerous it was to have professors there speaking to students, and students, in the same room breathing back and forth, especially when you had this pandemic that was incredible. So what I did is I went around to, and this was free of charge, I went around to all the colleges and universities that wanted me, because I was used to putting courses totally online. And I put courses totally online all throughout New Jersey and the United States. And what was really cool, the state of New Jersey, the Senate and the General Assembly gave me a joint legislative resolution honoring me for my efforts in doing this. And it was really cool also because I think it also taught the faculty the power of teaching online. It really brought online education up in the best schools in the country. All of a sudden, it wasn't this, thing that, it wasn't nearly as good. It was every bit as good. Next slide. So now they did mention, as far as distance learning, I'm now the chair of the leadership committee of the Global Distance Learning Association, and it's really now worldwide. There you had the New York Distance Learning Association, the North American Distance Learning Association, South American, Europe, Africa, Asia. It's all over now. And guess what? These students out there, they love learning science. And I'm involved with, as I say, with schools like Colorado Christian University, who have missionaries out in the field in all these different distance locations. And what they're able to do now is they're able to get their sons and daughters, instead of having to send them someplace else, they can actually stay with their parents and get that college degree. And sure enough, they need to teach a lab science there. It's readily available. And that's the beautiful thing. And I've been doing this for years with hands-on labs and Science Interactive. It's wonderful. And in June of last year, I was able to speak at the University of Aberdeen. And it was really cool teaching them about science online worldwide. It is something that I think Science Interactive really does well, and we can reach to that world community. And you know what? so many of the local schools now, because there's less and less students of that age go into college, they find out, but you've got all these students very willing to take our courses and get involved in the courses, and yet they're overseas. So that's a whole new area that can be expanded. Next slide. And I want to say that that's, you'll see there, it's just like the laboratory exercises mimic the clinical testing. And like for microbiology, one of the last things they do is test, okay, what antibiotic works well against that microbe? And sure enough, here they are actually doing that Kirby Bauer testing. And it's just fantastic that it mimics the hospital or clinical labs. It's just fantastic things. And then what I've shown them all along, a lot of the professors, were questioning this. But here's an example where the students who took all their courses totally online versus the ones who took it face-to-face, sure enough, the ones who took it online actually got higher grades on the NCLEX RN exam. That shut a lot of professors up way back when. And now I think it's really out there that people realize in the finest schools in the country, and all schools in the country, where online education is terrific, and especially science. It's something they had real trouble figuring out how to do. And Science Interactive on the front doorstep there. I think that's it. Next slide. Am I done?
Yep, I think that it's it,
Okay,
Jim.
I'm sorry.
No, you are totally good. Thank you so much. And I want to take a moment. We are running up on time this afternoon, but I want to say thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. If you are interested in learning more, please be sure to visit scienceinteractive.com. I also want to take one more opportunity to congratulate Amanda, Ricky, Talisha, Carlotta, and Jim. Congratulations. Thank you for all you do for our students. It has been a thrill getting to work with you on putting this presentation together, and we're looking forward to next year's Golden Goggle Awards. Nominations will open up in the summer of 2025, so keep an eye on our website, and we're looking forward to honoring some more educators for all they do for our online science learners. Thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.